Well, I mean, he's great early, and then when the bloop double, they just executed two, perfect situations of hitting the ball to right field and hit him right down the first baseline and set up a huge inning for him. But Dillon pitched a good game, and unfortunately they just the one big inning killed him.
I know you've faced some pretty good pitchers, but are you surprised, given how well everybody was hitting in spring training, just how much the offense has struggled at times?
Well, I will tell you, Steve, that's why, and we had many meetings about it, that, we knew we were swinging good in spring training, but we knew it was spring training. And we knew it's just a different game. It's a different game when the lights come on. And so we've got to get some guys going. We've got a good offensive club. We've got some guys that can swing a bat, but as we saw in spring training, it's got to be throughout the lineup. We just one or two guys ain't going to carry us.
Jerry, what would you say with Dillon? He had two strong innings right before that.
Well, Ed, he is what he is, and he doesn't walk guys. He beats himself, and the two balls that they hit down the right field line, both of them are balls that probably wish he could get down a little bit more. They're both up, and those are balls that you can just go. They're pretty easy to get your hands inside and go the other way, but they hit them in perfect spots too. So, 6 inches, and Lucas catch both of them. But that's just the name of the game, and like I said, I thought he pitched a pretty good ball game other than the big inning.
Jerry, do you think they're able to put the Mejia news aside and just suck the life out of you a little bit?
Well, I think today, we're not going to make an excuse. I mean, Tateron was very, very good early, and until he probably got a little fatigued. But when we talked to the players about it today, you could, there was a lot of shocked faces, and but like most of them said, hey, we got to pick it up and move on.
And then at that, when they bring in the reliever to face Flores, do you want him to see a pitch there, or his first pitch not going to be fine with that?
Well, I'm fine with that. I mean, a lot of times, the best pitch you're going to get may be the first one, and you get yourself deep in the count sometimes in that situation. Now you got to hit the pitcher's pitch, and and he hit it hard. That's why I didn't say anything. He smoked it and just hit it at somebody.
How much are you liking what you're seeing out of Gilmartin right now?
Well, I like exactly a lot what he's doing. One of the biggest things I like about it is that he's throwing strikes. And again in a new role, and he's coming out of there and he's using all his pitches and throwing them over the plate. And most of the time, even if he gets behind, he's not afraid to use his the off-speed stuff to keep the hitters off balance.
I thought I actually felt pretty good today throwing the ball. Thought I made some good pitches throughout the night, but just that's the way it went. They peppered that right field line pretty good.
There were a lot of strikes.
Yeah, from the get-go, I felt pretty good. Throwing a lot of strikes. I think, my one regret is, I wish I would throw more curveballs, try to spread the velocity a little bit better, and, work more front to back than in and out. So, I got too reluctant on the cutter and fastball there.
At this stage in your career, is it easier to diagnose starts like this, what went wrong, what you have to do to correct?
I think sometimes it's just going to happen. But I look back on it, and there are some things I wish I would have done differently. Like I said, the big one is curveballs. I think I only threw one or two all night, and it's weird because in the middle of it, you're not thinking about it, and it kind of slips your mind. But looking back, I wish I would have done more of that, and just mixed a little bit better.
Off topic, but you've been involved in the Hooten Foundation and spoken about the drug issue a little. So, what was your reaction to your teammate being suspended?
It's disappointing. Not only for him and his career, but also for us as a team. He made a bad decision. We have the rules in place, and serve out suspension, and hopefully it'll be good when he comes back.
Terry said he thought that it took a little bit out of the team today. Did you sense a little deflation upon hearing the news?
Like I said, he just made a bad decision, and he's going to have to face it. But as a team, he's our teammate, and we support him and want to be there for him. So yeah, it's a little letdown, but I think we also feel like we have guys that can step in and do the job as well.
Well, it's obviously disappointing. Not only do you cost yourself 80 games and don't get paid, but you're hurting everybody in here. You're letting down your teammates, and I think that probably means just as much, if not more, than hurting yourself. So we've all discussed this drug policy at lengths. I think the Players Association, the Commissioner's Office, everybody in baseball has done their best to try to clean up this game as much as possible. And as much as it hurts, as much as we love Jenrry as a teammate, you make a mistake, you need to be punished. And once Jenrry serves his punishment and comes back, we'll welcome him and do whatever we can to make him feel like he's part of this team. But for right now, he messed up and he needs to be punished.
When as someone who's been pretty outspoken about this issue over the years, when you see guys say, as by way of explanation, I don't know how that got in my body, which you see a lot, what does that make you think? Is that
I don't think too much about it, to be honest with you. I haven't read a statement. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. So until Jenrry can explain that for himself, or his representation can, but I'm not going to get into specifics of why he failed drug test, or what he's put in his body or what he's not putting in his body, because I just don't know.
You've been in this game for a long time, obviously, but knowing Jenrry, does it surprise you? Are you kind of numb to it at this point? In your career, is it still surprising when something like this happens?
Well, it's I'm not sure how surprised. There's been guys that have been suspended. There's been guys that have failed drug tests, and there's guys that continue to try to cheat the system or fail drug tests. So the good news is it seems like the program is working. We're trying to weed out the people that gain an unfair advantage, and unfortunately this time it's a teammate.
You get the news before the game. You think it sucks the life out of the team at all?
No, I don't think anybody says as disappointing as it was, I don't think anybody was thinking about that during the game.
What was the reaction in the room when Terry told you guys? What was shock?
Again, I think that, the biggest thing is we're all just trying to get ready for a game, so, I guess somewhat selfishly, Jenrry's not here, so he's not going to do anything to help this team win this game, so, it's bad news for us as a team, it's bad news for Jenrry as an individual, but, the rules are the rules, and, he broke those rules, so, again, he needs to be punished.